Hey, this is Seth, and in this video I want to share with you the best paying and most in-demand digital marketing skill sets. These are the skill sets I'm teaching my students that have led to all the success stories you've seen on this channel. And you may be wondering, well, what exactly are these skills? In this video I'm going to get into that. But before I go there, please remember to like this video and subscribe to this channel for more career advice videos. Okay, let's start with my favorite skill set where I think most of my students get their jobs, and that is paid search. This has to do with Google Ads. Now you may be wondering, what the heck is paid search, or what are the job titles associated with that? Every company has kind of a different way of putting the job title. Some people will call this a PPC analyst. Some people will call it an SEM manager. PPC stands for pay per click, and SEM stands for search engine management. And you can see the salaries here range from 60K to 109K, or 73K all the way up to 133K. So again, these are a lot of job titles overlap, but you could say it's about 60 to 133K. Again, this is for entry level all the way up to when you get 3 to 4 years into the profession. You've seen a lot of my students get up to 6 figures within a few years of starting in this field. So what exactly is pay-per-click, and how does Google make all their money? Well, the simplest answer is that Google makes their roughly $237.86 billion a year, and growing every year through ads. And when you Google something, and it's like buy digital camera Los Angeles, this is just the first thing that popped into my head, you're going to see these sponsored results here at the top. Now, even though you may have never clicked on one of these ads, a lot of people do. In fact, $237 billion worth of people click on these ads. And Google presents themselves as being so user-friendly that you can just, go over to their website and set up an ad campaign and make tons of money through their platform. So if you're a small business owner and you say, hey, I want to get on Google, I want to get more customers and sales, you go to their website and they're like, hey, we'll help you out. You just have to click a few buttons and you're going to make a lot of money. But what you actually learn, as I teach in my course, and I go more into this in my free webinar, they have this thing called Performance Max, which is really an example of how Google tries to automate their advertising platform to make it user-friendly. But what that means is it's kind of like going to Caesar's Palace in Las Vegas and saying, hey guys, I don't know how to do blackjack. Can you gamble for me? And the guys at Caesar's Palace going, sure, we'll take your money and gamble for you. Just trust us. That's what happens with Google. They are not going to make the average small business owner money just by using their automated systems. And if you actually look into the dashboard of, this is just for my very simple, I don't actually run that many ads. This is for my own course. If you actually look at the dashboard where all of this stuff happens, in terms of their advertising, it's very complicated, but it's sold to business owners as being very easy. And the result is business owners lose a lot of money. And that's why there are so many jobs managing Google ads. Because remember, guys, this is $237 billion a year. And Google's telling small business owners, hey, just trust us, we'll spend your money. But the business owners realize, hey, guess what? We don't know how to manage it, and we don't want to deal with this all day. This is quite complicated. We need to hire somebody to actually do the management, and that's where my students get their jobs. So if you want a job in digital marketing, you want to follow the money. That's really what I recommend. Big companies spend money on Google Ads, so they're willing to spend money paying digital marketing agencies, and the agencies are then willing to pay really nice salaries to people who know how to manage those ads. And you've seen, my students, this is, I'm going to give you some of my more long-term success stories here, but Danielle here was a political science major, and we did an interview a couple of years ago. He got up to $120,000 a year. Whoops. No. LinkedIn messaging. It's a little glitchy, but I have the message right here. He went from 36K to 60K to 126K annually, and he's managing Google ads and a little bit of Facebook, mostly Google ads. Because again, when you have an industry that is creating this much revenue and this much money, there's a lot of auxiliary jobs that are created from that. That also includes, there's Daniel here. He's still working over there at SJd&x. He's their growth manager. This is Ike, who I remember we interviewed, he got up to about 80,000 with bonuses and great benefits, and that was a while ago. Then this was Darren, who got up to 120K and then actually went, and now he works at Google. which I haven't interviewed him in a while, but he was working at Mute 6, which is an agency that has a lot of alumni have worked there. He was the associate director of paid search, managing $1 million a month in ad spend. Remember, guys, when you hear that billion-dollar figure, that means there's so many agencies, so many companies spending millions and millions of dollars. Even if a company, like I worked at a small agency where companies are only spending maybe $5,000, $10,000 a month, they still need people to manage that advertising properly. And now Darren has gone to the dark side. No, I'm very happy for Darren. I think it's great he's working at Google. But that's amazing to think that then they took somebody who had the ability to actually, use their platform properly, and then they hired him to work there. So you've seen a lot of the entry level positions. When I do an interview or I post a testimonial on Instagram, and that's what I want you to focus on if you're not in this field, getting your foot into the door. But I just wanted to give you some of the growth examples, which is why you can see these ranges on the low end and on the high end. Now, the next high-income skill set in digital marketing has to do with Facebook's advertising platform, which you can see makes about $131 billion a year, which is catching up with Google. I mean, it's very close. Google still dominates, and every year they continue to make more and more, but obviously Facebook ads, Instagram ads are also a very powerful platform. And a lot of my students end up getting jobs in that. You can look over here at Kenneth Lee. He was working at Chase Bank, making 18 bucks an hour. Then he got a 60K job, 75K job, and he's up to 90K. And I know he's advanced since then because he was working also at Mute 6, which again, I told you a bunch of my students worked there. And now he's the associate director of paid social. And again, paid social means paid ads on a social network, which could be Meta, Facebook, Instagram. And TikTok is obviously up and coming, although TikTok's annual ad revenue is closer to like 15-20 billion, which is just a percentage of Instagram, Facebook. But these platforms are going to continue to grow. But the jobs tend to be focused on Facebook and Instagram ads. So Kenneth is doing that. Keyshawn is my wunderkind 22-year-old student who started when he was 20. He's making almost 100K this year at his agency. He is doing a mixture of, he's at Allegiance Group. He's basically doing a lot of Google and Facebook. He's kind of doing both of them, which is why I like to teach my students. I teach them a lot about Google ads, and I also teach them about Facebook ads so that they understand the basics. But again, once you actually get that first job and you get that foot in the door, you're going to learn so much at your first job at that agency with working with real professionals who've been in the industry. That's what's so exciting. That's how students are able to get promotions and grow so quickly. But I'm just kind of illustrating. We're already talking about almost $500 billion worth of ad spend that needs people to manage them. And again, if you look here at I don't actually even spend that much on Facebook. I've done it over the years. I've done various ads. But look at this interface here. You can learn how to do it, but it's not like easy. The average pizza shop owner or a lawyer or the small business owner is not going to want to have their head up in this interface 8 hours a day or 4 hours a day looking and checking ad data and things like that. The next high-paying, in-demand digital marketing skill set is being an SEO analyst. SEO analysts make between $68,000 and $120,000 a year. Base pay, again, could be as little as $52,000. Again, you've seen a lot of my students recently get hired with this, like Aaron, who came just out of high school. He was at a car wash making $11 an hour, got a remote job making $50K as a search engine optimization specialist. Same thing with Alex Ruiz. He was also went from, I think, a bureaucratic job for the state of California to a nice SEO job. And what is SEO? Well, search engine optimization means making changes to a website to make it show up higher in Google's search results. So if I was to type in film school secrets, this is a random thing. So this is my blog from, oh my God, like 14 years ago. And obviously this is not a search term that many people are searching for. But I just wanted to point out to you that even though I have not done anything to this blog in 10 years, I still get about almost 2,000 visitors a year to the website. Now imagine if you have a small business website for a car wash or for your legal practice or you're selling stuff online and people are finding your website for free. Like again, I don't do anything. My website is totally outdated. Yeah, honestly, I mean, I keep the site up out of more of nostalgia and remembering something I did when I was younger. And obviously these days, if you're in a competitive market, you have to be doing SEO constantly, which is why these jobs exist. But the payoff and the excitement of SEO is this idea of getting quote unquote free traffic from Google. And if you do that, you are, going to be logging into tools like Ahrefs and SEMrush, and you're going to be looking at things like keyword competition and backlinks and referring domains, and you're going to be trying to understand Google's 200 ranking factors for their algorithm. So it's a very complex job, but it's also very exciting and interesting. I would say these jobs are kind of like being a detective, because you're always trying to use your mind to try to figure out why things aren't doing well or why things are doing well. And you see my students, do very well in this field. This is Angel, who was up to 6 figures after just a couple of years. He was one of my earliest students, took the course back in 2017, 2018, and he was making 6 figures back then. Now he was working at a place called Botify. Now he's working at Fox Corporation. So he's working at a giant media company, doing very, very well. Noel, I remember he was working in healthcare. He was a nurse, very unhappy, very stressed out. He got his first job making, I don't know if it was 50, was it 50K? To find, I have so many of these, I kind of lose track. I think this was his initial post. He was making like 53K when he started, and he got up to 60 or 70, and I don't know what he's been doing since then, but I just know that he's done, where is he? No, that's Kayla. There he is. Yeah, now he's an SEO specialist at this company. So he's been at this one agency for a number of years. So the point is that, you can not only grow a lot in this field, and there's a ton of opportunities, but also make a difference. This is a post I like that Noel posted, which was showing how you can see the traffic for his client here, and they were getting like 7,000 visitors a month. And then he made changes to their website and implemented a lot of the strategies he learned in the course. And now it almost doubled their traffic. Now, can you imagine how valuable that is to any company to have double the website traffic from having done just a few things? I mean, obviously there's a lot more to it than that, but sometimes these companies will come to you and they've done such a bad job with their SEO. Plus, again, things are always changing in terms of SEO, that just making a few changes consistently over time can make a huge difference in that. And that's why a job like this can pay so well. Again, if you are helping companies make money, you will be paid well. And all 3 of the skills I've mentioned, you're going to be doing that. Now, the last skill set I'm going to mention is one that actually pays. It can pay even more than any of these ones I mentioned previously. But it's not something that you usually get into in an entry-level position. And that has to do with being, okay, we're going to cut that. And we're going to do, and that has to do with digital analytics. You've probably heard the term analytics. Analytics is understanding, analyzing data. You've heard the term big data, people buying and selling data. You know that AI learning has a lot to do with handling huge data sets. This is a big, important thing to be able to do. Now, when you get into your entry-level job in paid search, SEO, or paid social, you're going to be learning the basics of analytics. But over time, when you work in one of these jobs, that's when you're going to be more likely to get an actual dedicated analytics position. Kayla, who I alluded to earlier, she is an expert in analytics, and she's one of my students who started out, let's see here. This was her career update from, again, just a few years ago. She started out at 40K back in 2020, got up to 55K, and now she had an offer for 90K plus 15% in bonuses, and that was a few years ago. But she is completely focused on analytics. And this is an area where I do suggest, again, if you like analytics and you get into that, you can really go far with analytics as one of your skill sets. But I don't stress it too much in the course or on the channel, because again, you're going to get these entry-level opportunities. The opportunity of the course is because there's so many paid search positions open. There's so many SEO positions open because colleges don't teach this. And the analytics positions, there are also analytics positions open, but again, they tend to be a little bit more senior and something you can get into after you've done your first year in one of the entry-level positions. But as you can see here, there's a ton of opportunity for growth. I also wanted to share with you guys, if you want to know more about Salaries. This is the Onward Search salary guide. Onward Search is a recruiting and staffing agency that specializes in creative and digital professionals. And I think they're actually their agency. One of their agents actually helped me early in my career. They have this career salary guide. And as you can see here, you've got SEO, SEM manager, low, 79,000, mid, 100,000, high, 117,000. You can see, digital marketing manager. These are all kind of different terms for similar things. So you can see there's a lot of different job titles here, but ultimately these are all high income skill sets. For the most part, there's one skill I'm going to talk about in a separate video. There is one digital marketing skill that is not a good skill to have. It's nothing I mentioned in this video, but I'm going to do a whole other video about it because some people get confused and they end up getting into this other field that they really shouldn't. It's a little teaser. It'll be in a future video. But for now, I would focus on Google Ads, PPC, SEM, paid search is the 1, search engine optimization is the 2, paid social or Facebook ads is 3, and 4th, of course, is digital analytics, which again, I think there's more earning potentials in that. But again, it's all these jobs involve a certain amount of sophistication and analysis. But if you're going to do a dedicated analytics job, you really got to like analyzing data. What a lot of people like about SEO, PPC is that it is analytical, but it also has an aspect of creativity to it. And I think that's why people are so lit up and excited when you see them in the interviews. I mean, I can't remember the last time you saw someone interviewed about being like an accountant that was like excited about it. But most of my students are pretty excited at these jobs because there's also a level of satisfaction and good work-life balance and, of course, earning and growth potential. So anyway, guys, I hope this was informative. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comment below. If you would like to know more about this field and how you can get these skills and get into a $60K remote job within a year with no previous experience or education, please click the link below for my free webinar on this topic, or click the link below that for my full training and understand how I've helped thousands of people get into these jobs since 2016 with no previous experience or education. All right, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.